All right, let's jump right in. We're going to take a look at something you've probably gotten in a drawer or under a sink right now, a hairdryer. But what if I told you that hidden inside this simple, everyday machine is a secret, a principle so powerful it literally runs the entire universe?
Now, I know this sounds a little weird, kind of like the setup to a bad joke, right? But seriously, just think about it for a second. What on earth could you possibly have in common with a plastic tube that just blows hot air?
The answer is this. Both of you and the hairdryer, have to follow one of the most fundamental, absolutely unbreakable laws there is. It's a rule that governs everything, from the biggest stars in the galaxy all the way down to the sound waves carrying my voice to you right now. So what is this master rule? Well, let's get into it. And trust me, once you really get this, you're going to start seeing it at work absolutely everywhere. Okay, here it is. It's called the Law of Conservation of Energy. And it's actually beautiful in how simple it is. All it says is this: energy can't be created and it can't be destroyed. That's it. All the energy that exists in the universe has always been here. You can't make more and you can't get rid of it. The only thing you can do is change its form.
I really love this way of thinking about it. Imagine energy is an incredible actor with a huge wardrobe. It just changes costumes. 1 minute it's showing up as electricity, then poof, it's swapped into its heat costume. Then bam, it's dressed up as motion, or maybe a sound. But underneath all those different outfits, it's always the same energy.
All right, so with that rule in our back pocket, let's put on our detective hats. We're going to follow the trail of energy, starting right from the plug in the wall, and see what happens on its journey deep inside this hairdryer.
So our story starts right here. You plug the hairdryer in, you flick that switch, and boom, a stream of electrical energy zips out of the wall, down the cord, and into the machine. This is our starting ingredient, the raw power for everything that's about to happen.
The second that electricity gets inside, it splits up and gets busy. Part of it goes straight to a tiny motor, making a fan spin like crazy. And there it is, our first big transformation. Electrical energy has changed its costume into kinetic energy. That's just the fancy name for the energy of motion. And that's what's pushing the air. Oh, and you can't miss that whirring sound, right? Well, that's another costume change, this time into sound energy.
But let's be real, the main show here is the heat. So the rest of the electricity, the majority of it, gets forced through a special coil of wire. Now, this wire is designed to put up a fight. It resists the flow of electricity. It's kind of like trying to squeeze a whole river through a tiny garden hose. All that struggle, all that friction, it gets released as heat. And that is our final and biggest transformation. Electrical energy becomes thermal energy, the hot air we actually want.
Okay, so we've seen electricity turn into motion, sound, and heat. But that law says none of the energy can just vanish. So where did every single bit of it actually go? It's time to balance the energy budget. Get this. A standard hairdryer can pull down a whopping 1,875 watts of power. That is a ton. To put that into perspective for you, it's like turning on more than 30 of those old-school 60-watt light bulbs all at the same time. It's a real power guzzler. So the question is, where does every single one of those watts go? And this is where it all clicks into place. Here's the breakdown. Remember, the law says no energy gets lost, and this chart is the proof. See that big slice? About 70% becomes the hot air that we actually want, what we'd call useful energy. But look at the rest. About 15% just becomes waste heat that warms up the plastic casing. Another 10% is the raw energy of the air being blown around, and a full 5% gets converted directly into that loud noise. See? It all adds up. Nothing just disappeared. And this right here is the big aha moment. The next time you're using your hairdryer and you have to shout over the noise, that's not bad design, that's physics. The fact that the plastic gets hot in your hand, that's not a defect, it's proof of the rule. The energy had to go somewhere, and some of it became sound, and some of it became heat. It's the law, right in front of your eyes. So once you see this happening in your hairdryer, you can't unsee it. You'll start to notice it everywhere else. It's like your entire home suddenly becomes this amazing science lab filled with all these little energy transformers.
And this brings up a really fascinating point. What we call waste energy is all about perspective. In the hairdryer, heat is the hero. The sound and the motion are just byproducts. But now think about a blender. In a blender, motion is the whole point. The loud grinding noise and the heat coming off the motor, that's the waste energy. It's the exact same physics, just with a completely different goal. And you see these examples everywhere you look. Your toaster, that's almost a pure heat transformer. Your speakers
are designed to be really good at turning electricity into sound. A flashlight is even wilder. It goes from chemical energy in the batteries to electrical energy and then to light, plus a little bit of heat. And your phone? Oh, your phone is a symphony of constant energy transformations happening right there in your pocket.
So this is way more than just a fun science fact. It's a completely new lens for seeing your daily life. From the coffee maker this morning to the car you drove, you are constantly in command of these incredible transformations. So I'll leave you with this to think about. What other energy transformers have you already used today? Once you start looking for them, you'll see they are absolutely everywhere.